security. We don't even need this in Cotillion security. I got my own security. And we got Split Lip Rayfield here, gentlemen. Go ahead and introduce yourself so the old ladies know where to write the complaint letters.
Is this live? Is this live television? Hi, everybody back in Toadsuck, Arkansas. So good to see you. I hope you're watching Grandma. Grandma's dead.
Grandma's dead.
Oh, I'm Wayne.
I'm Jeff.
I am Eric.
Look at that. We should have old bastard down the line again. Dang it.
So I instantly regret doing that deal because that's probably the part you're going to use, I can tell.
Probably. Okay, gentlemen, explain to me, what the heck is a Split Lip Rayfield?
It's a band with a couple of guys in it that play music.
Where'd this name come from?
That's a guy my parents went to high school with, Billy Rayfield, and they called him Split Lip from his chapped lips every winter.
There's no big story. It's just
Big story.
some guy.
Just some guy.
So, you guys, I've heard your music described as acid bluegrass. Is that correct, or is there a better definition?
I don't know about acid bluegrass. I would just say it's aggressive, acoustic, bluegrass, roots-oriented music. But if you want to call it acid bluegrass, whatever.
I have your permission to call it acid bluegrass. Okay. Now, gentlemen, explain to me this gas tank bass thing. What is going on with this deal?
It's the car gas tank with a piece of weed whacker line strapped onto it, and just go to town on it.
Where the hell did you come up with this thing?
Out as a wash tub bass, and then it just sort of evolved into this thing.
That's it?
That's it.
There's no big story here.
No, I was gonna build a wash tub bass.
You-
I had a gas tank and just went with it. So that's it.
So, what are your musical influences?
Oh man, all sorts of stuff. Used to listen to tons of punk rock when I was a kid, and then got into the old time bluegrass stuff later, and I'm mostly listening to like talk radio now.
Hannity or Limbaugh?
No, not those guys.
Okay. What's your musical influence?
I listened to a lot of like 70s British hard rock growing up. Deep Purple and that kind of stuff is my favorite thing. And then I got into like West Coast thrash in high school, like that a lot. And always like kept a foot dipped in like jazz and some other stuff. So I don't know. I like everything. But I was raised on AM country, and I would have shot myself in the face if I would have thought I'd become a banjo player eventually. But then it all came back around, and I actually like the banjo now. I've accepted my fate, and yeah. I like everything, though. Musical influence, I don't know. I like the lute. I like the Renaissance lute. It's my favorite thing right now.
Reaching way back with the Renaissance.
Way back.
Now, let me guess, you're a huge Deep Purple fan.
No.
What's your musical influence?
The Cosby Show and Gilligan's Island and I don't know, just everything. Just whatever. I just like good music, whatever it may be, whether it's metal or country.
Oh, no, not metal.
I'm not like a metal head or anything like that. I have some metal records, but probably more country records. I guess your musical influence is what your record collection looks like mostly. So I don't know. I'd have to look at it, see what's in there.
Get back to me. What is the worst show you guys have ever played?
Oh, there's a bunch of them. I don't know.
How about the Shreveport, Louisiana show? The Rustic Cowboy.
Yeah, that was interesting. I got to sing an awesome karaoke song that night, though. So, whenever you open up for karaoke, that's not a good show. And that was...
Especially me if I'm doing the karaoke.
There was a drunken night in New York City that I remember that was a bad show for me.
You caught between the moon and New York City. Is that what was going on?
I was caught between a bottle of gin and New York City. But
So, here comes the odd questions. I have to ask them every show, so I apologize ahead of time. If you guys could play with any two bands, living, dead, broke up, whatever, if a billionaire were to come back and say in a DeLorean from like 1985 or whatever, Back to the Future reference, and have you guys play, where's the concert at, and who are the other two bands?
I guess it would probably have to be at Red Rocks. Got a band?
about the Beatles? They were a big popular band.
The Beatles and Red Rocks, us, the Beatles, and then Frank Zappa.
Sounds good.
That's it. Who opens and who closes?
We open
would
and we'll
open.
close.
And then we would close too.
So here comes the odd question. And if you were a dildo, what would you be named?
Man, I don't know. Jeff.
Jeff. Not Neil.
This is a ludicrous question. I don't know what to answer.
You don't have one?
Question like that.
I know. It's why I'm here, brother.
That is a retarded fucking question. I'm sorry.
Hey, that'll work.
Probably Old Tripod or Daddy Longstroke. One of those two. Yeah.
So, last question. Where are you guys going to be in 5 years?
Hopefully doing more of this stuff.
5 years from right now, I have dinner reservations at restaurants, and that's where I plan on being 5 years from right now.
I'll be selling minnows and pumping gas at the marina.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
It all comes full circle.
Well, oh, jump in here then. Come on, brother. Give me some questions. I should have brought my next.
What made you think to start a television show?
I wanted to copy Heavy Pork and outdo them, and I think I did.
You think so? I haven't seen your work.
Good.
I've seen Heavy Pork once or twice. Do you work for KJAG Radio?
Yes, indeed.
And what do you do at KJAG Radio?
I do the radio show. I do a radio show. I do the #1 internet-based talk show.
There's not a bigger story than that goes along with it?
That's it. That's it. I'm in a book.
Whose big dildo did you suck on to get that job?
Ha ha! It all comes back to the dildo. Thank you, sir. His name was Steak Shapiro, and he's a sports guy in Philadelphia.
Steak Shapiro. Was he medium rare or well done?
He was well done, my man. Well done.
All right, well, I think this is it for, what was your name again?
Jiggy Jaguar.
Jiggy Jaguar's last show, because I'm going to take over his show and make it something good from now on. Next week, when I take over the show, we're going to have, first off, we're going to have the Rolling Stones next week. After this episode, we've got the Rolling Stones next week. We're going to do some cooking with the Rolling Stones. We're going to find out what they like to eat. We're going to find out what they like to listen to. We're going to find out what they drive and where they live, and we're going to have a hell of a good time, and we won't be talking to, what was your name again?
Jiggy Jaguar.
Jiggy Jaguar.
Or Jigman Freud.
Jigman Freud, say goodbye to your fans.
Peace at about 5,000. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Jump in there, Ann, real quick. You might as well. If he's still